So when you get an objection from a client, I don't care what you do, you have to have some sort of, I don't want to say script, but you have to have some sort of cache of responses to give them because you're always going to get objections with everything you do. So I'm going to use the chiropractic analogy first and foremost because it's what I did previously, and it's what a vast majority of our clients are. They're chiropractors, and they're calling clients to get them reactivated. So that's the scene that we're working with. And there's three things that we usually get right now. This is 2021, and we're coming off a little bit of a crazy 2020. So the three most common objections are going to be around safety, their comfort level, finances, and I'm not feeling well. So these are just a couple of responses to their objections that you can give them. And I'm always amazed when I was in practice how much some of the things that I said with these objections, people actually held on to. They actually remembered them. They'd come to me and say, well, what about that? Like, absolutely. I'm glad you remembered. So the most common thing you call, when you call a client, I recommend that you have your staff write down on something like an index card. It doesn't have to be hard like an index card unless you are going to go through a file system. But I generally recommend a piece of paper. You have their name, phone number. You leave room for whatever their response was, and the date of their last appointment, and then you leave a blank for the next appointment. Here's why. Because when you call them, hey, this is Dr. J at New Leaf Chiropractic. Is Bob there? Hey, Bob, great to talk to you. I see that it's been about 6 months since your last appointment. Can you believe it's been 6 months? And usually they'll say something like, oh my God, I can't believe it's been that long. And then give them the opportunity also to say, I'm really glad you called. I'd sure like to get an appointment. So if you say, remind them of the time point, you may not even need to go into objections or tell them why you're calling. If they don't give you, hey, I'm really glad you called. Great, Bob, let me just put you on hold really quick. The staff's available. They're going to do a better job with the schedule than I will. Push hold, send them over. If that doesn't happen, hey, this is actually New Leaf Chiropractic. It's been 6 months since you've been in. Just wanted to call and see if we can see how your body's responded since your last appointment, and if it makes sense for you to come in and get a tune-up appointment. And then listen to them. The most important thing to do is just get some dialogue with them, listen to them. If you know what their, if you have the good rapport with them and what their primary complaint was and how far they've come down the road, it's a good chance for you to remind them of what they had going on, what they went through to get to a place where oftentimes they'll forget that they had something going on. I remember this one guy came into our office and he had some urination and continence issues. That was actually why he came into our office. And his name was we'll call him Siva, all right? It was something else. But Siva, so when you came into our office, you actually had this problem with your bladder issue. You had some incontinence issues. This is the guy in his 60s, right? He goes, doctor, I don't remember that. I was like, yeah. He goes, no, that can't be right. And so I pull up his file and I said, it's right here. And he goes, oh my God. I was like, yeah, it was really clear that was coming from your low back. He had some low back pain, and then it became stiffness. Then it was debilitating pain. That was the first reason he came in. We got rid of it. Then he came in again thinking, hey, I think this urination stuff might be linked. Sure enough, it was. And he just forgot about it. He actually literally just forgot about it. So when he was in again, I said, are you having some of this issue? He goes, yeah, it's really weird that you say that because I actually am having some pain and a little bit of those issues. I just forgotten about it. He was good to go from there. So that can happen. So remind them of what their common complaint, what their chief complaint was when they first came in, and how far they've come. So if they say, "Hey, look, it's funny you bring that up. I'd actually forgotten about that. I'm feeling really well." Great. I'm really glad you're feeling well, Bob. Our job is to get people to live a life of optimal expression, or whatever your mission statement is. Our job is to help our community give more of their authentic self to their community. Whatever your mission statement is, a good time to just plug it in there. And say something effective, with your spine, with chiropractic care, this is a little bit like dentistry. You don't go to a dentist when you've got tooth pain, right? Well, I mean, you do, but you're hopeful that you're going to the dentist when you're feeling good and you get a checkup and they look and say, hey, you got to tend to this molar. We need to clean this out. Long before you've got the Tom Hanks, shove an ice skate through your molars type pain. That's not what you want. So in chiropractic care, it's a little bit of the same. Just because it's out of sight and out of mind doesn't mean that it can't still be an issue. We'll sometimes loop in a financial piece then after that. We'll get to the financial objection in a moment. So just stick with the dentist analogy first. Hey, The best time to take care of your spine is when you're feeling good. The best time to go to your dentist is when your teeth are feeling good. We all know that, right? It's the exact same thing. If you want, I could waive an exam fee for you. Let's come in, let's get you reestablished and get you going again. Roofer. Hey, the best time to check the roof here, Bob, you know this, is not when there's a hole in the roof and it's raining outside. The time where you want the roofer to come and do a free checkup on your roof is when it's dry and sunny outside. And you can say, hey, there's some issues up here, and that's a $40 patch up there, and then it does become a gigantic roof issue. So the best time to check the roof is when it's sunny and everything's great outside. That's the best time to check your spine. When you're feeling good, everything's sunny, you're feeling great, your productivity is good. You don't need to wait until your roof, your spine, is leaking again. All right, so that's the roof. That's number 2, I'm feeling well. And then number 3, I actually just say, hey, I'm so glad you're feeling well. Look, you've invested a lot of time. You had this low back, this herniation, whatever the chief complaint is, issue. And I'd like to recommend that you may not know this, that we have these wellness plans, these maintenance cycles for you to go on. So don't have a maintenance wellness plan. Now is the time to say, hey, Coach Jay, let me get one of those wellness plans. Let's talk a little bit about that. So they may not know that. They may have been a client that was just through, and they may have just been passing through. They got 3 adjustments and then they're on their way. Hey, you may not know this, but we've got wellness plans. Something happened. They had to travel. There was a pandemic. There was whatever. Just let them know. Hey, just so you know, you're feeling well. Let's keep it that way. Let's not go back to where you were. Let's preserve the work, the time, the money that you invested in yourself. And it's relatively inexpensive because we don't have to go back and reinvent the wheel here. Second objection, finances. So when somebody objects to finances, you can give the wellness plan options again. As I mentioned before, the dentist piece, it's much more expensive to fix a tooth that's in pain and it's an abscess than it is to come in, get it tuned up, maybe get like a little bit of a cavity filled, then like to extract the whole thing. So I tell this to my clients. I did. Come in, let's get your spine checked. The amount of time and money that you invest over the course of a year to keep things up and running usually is less than if you let it go, the stress and all the things of life build up, and then all of a sudden you've got this boom shutdown event, and now you have to invest all this time, this money, and the productivity with your job and at home is shot on top of it. So we usually find that it's the same amount of money through time, but the pain is more. The suffering, the productivity losses, all those are more when you don't tend to your spine properly. So I use that analogy almost all the time. Number 3, safety. The safety piece. You know what? Let me go back to the financial piece. I've got a couple other things that you can say. You can also offer them a $20 off an adjustment. You can offer them to include something like some sort of service, like a massage, an exam, a checkup, a chance to bring in a family member for free. So there's things that you can do also, in addition to say, let's just get you going and invest some money. Get the wellness plan. I would like the idea of waiving fees. Just, we've got this exam fee. Let me just waive this fee. Let's get you in. Let's get you tuned up so you don't have to invest as much time and money. I would love to see you again. So think about what you can offer them in addition to. And usually I don't like you to give like physical things away unless you've got like swag to give away. Think about giving away services, things that just generally don't cost you money, but are just an investment of your time. Safety. So the safety issue, and I was just having a conversation with my buddy about this. It is always a business decision. And so you can remind them, look, if this was your business, what would make you safe? Is there anything that we could do to make you safe? Likely, no matter what they say, you're already doing. But ask them, like, what is it that would make you safe, feel safe? What is it that you need to have done to ensure you to come in? Just ask them, be the doctor, be the human being who listens. Nobody listens anymore. So if you can listen and be patient, tell me, what is it that you need? It's likely that we're already doing it, but let me know what your specific concerns, complaints are, that we can make you comfortable, we can make ourselves available to you. If they've got like an outlandish ask, of course not. But for the first one, like, hey, I just really want to be in the office alone. Cool, well, I booked them at the end of a shift when they're the only person there. Look, we'll make a special appointment for you because chances are once they're in, they're not going to need anything else done, right? They just need to like see that you don't have like people running around licking tables and coughing into the air, and that you've got like fans blowing everywhere. Like I don't know, like it might make people uncomfortable. All right, Hopefully that's helpful. Leave us a comment, send us a note. We are here to help. If you found this helpful, please just hit the subscribe button. Leave us a comment. We thrive on your feedback. Coach A, Full Circle Coaching Consulting. Hey, never ever is life about a cookie cutter. It's all about you, just like it's all about like you work so hard to make it about your clients. Let us know how we can make your coaching and life experiences about you.